mean, what's the difference between branding and marketing? Are they the same thing? Are they different? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people might think they know, but they can't really put a definition to it. And if they do, the definition doesn't quite encapsulate what the activities are. The other day, a client of mine who was breaking into this new marketing space, starting their own solo business, asked me, well, actually, they didn't ask me. They said, hey, Tendo, I need to work on my branding. I need to do this, this, and this. And I was like, all right, we need to stop for a second because we need to understand what branding is and what marketing is before we move forward. And so in this video, we're going to get into the difference between branding and marketing, how to think about it, and how it can take your business to the next level. I'm excited. Let's jump in. Yes. Let's get into it. So the other day, I was talking to a client of mine about the difference between branding and marketing. He comes up to me and he says, Tendo, I need to work on my branding, and I need to get new colors. I need to get a new look. I need to work on my branding. And I was like, all right, pump the brakes a little bit. Before we get into marketing, before we get into branding, we first have to understand what marketing is and how to approach it, how to think about it, how to understand it. Because the distinction makes all the difference in between how we spend our energy, how we stay busy, and how we organize our activities when it comes to growing our business. Something that I had to learn. I had to get my battle scars, but I'm conveying that today because I think that it will be of a lot of value to the people that watch this. It's not going to be a long video. It's going to be very quick. I want to get it to the point, and I want you to walk away with a deep understanding of branding, marketing, and where it all fits. Before we do, this episode is brought to you by Constance. Constance is the #1 mini site in the world. It's the #1 AI powered mini site in the world. And Constance is designed as a platform for people to grow and start their business as a solopreneur, as a small team. It has the tools that you need to get active. It's a site that sells while you sleep. It's a mini site that makes you money, and it's free to start. Of course, we have options where you can grow, but check it out today. It can change your life, change your business. It can help you grow. It can help you get started. Now, back to branding, back to marketing. So, what is marketing? Marketing is engaging with your market. Sounds simple, but a lot of people confuse this with all of the subtasks that make marketing up. Marketing is engaging with your market. What do I mean by that? Well, marketing is the activity around the market, and a market is made up of buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers are people. If you're a seller and you want to sell more items, then you have to go and engage with your market. If you're a buyer and you want to go buy things, you have to go and engage with the seller. And so the responsibility of this falls on the seller because the seller is the one that has something to offer. And so anytime you're marketing, whether it's through research, whether it's through branding, which we'll get into, whether it's through sales, we'll touch on that in another video. You have to think about it in the context of I'm engaging with a market. If you're doing a big campaign, a big marketing campaign, the goal of that is to broadcast the message so that way you can create more demand. So that way you can inform buyers of something that you're trying to communicate, something that you're trying to offer, and something they should try to look out for, something they should be paying attention to. That's the messaging. And every good marketing campaign has great measurement, has great messaging, but again, we can touch on that in another video. The goal of this is to distinguish between marketing and branding. So what is branding? Branding is not marketing, but it's a function of marketing. To understand branding, we have to understand what the goal of branding is, what really branding is, and the history of branding. Back in the day, and probably till this day too, people that owned animals would brand their animals so that way if another, let's say, farmer walked and saw this animal in the wild or saw this animal out and about and they saw this brand, they could know who this animal belonged to. And so branding, they would take this hot, and they would also do this to people too, they would take this basically very hot um very hot like steel or metal and burn an insignia or some sign or symbol that says, hey, this is owned by uh Tendo, this is owned by John, this is owned by Jamal, whoever it might be. And it was just a way of association, is a way of associating a specific asset, in this case, an animal on a farm, with the owner. Now, when we talk about branding in the marketing context, we're talking about branding and associating. We're talking about associating a person or a business or an idea with something else. So much so that it's literally branded, it's burnt into the person's mind, this association. And that's really powerful because the brain operates off of association. I'm not a neuroscientist, but I do understand how we make sense of things through its associations. We make sense of someone's status through who they're associated with. We make, or what they've done. We make sense of who owns what through different forms of association. And so so much power in associating, and it's really important, really critical, because when people are trying to understand your business or your brand or your trying to understand your business or who you are, they look to your brand. They look to say, okay, what is this associated with? I'll give you an example. When you look at Nike, a lot of times they're saying we want to associate with athletes of different varieties. And so honor a they honor a let's say they honor somebody who's an athlete like LeBron James or Michael Jordan or Serena Williams or Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy, and these all might not be on the Nike brand right now, but they associate themselves so that way when you buy a shoe, you think, oh, I want to be like Mike, so I'm going to go and wear the same shoes that he wears. And that's the way that the brain works on a lot of levels, is we operate through association because there's so many decisions that we need to make in the world. We can't spend our energy trying to parse each one, that it's really easy, it's a shortcut, it's a heuristic to basically look at different signals, at different indicators to determine whether or not we should spend our time, our energy, our money on a certain product or service or situation. So that's one example, but it's happening all the time. More recently, with the advances in technology, domestic, not domesticating, making the ability to record ourselves more universal, more accessible, it's allowed for people to develop their own personal brand. And so another way to use or define what a personal brand is without using the word personal or even brand is an individual association or just a personal association. What is this person associated with? And what do those associations tell me about how I should act around this person and what I should do? That's a core aspect of branding, is engaging with the market by leveraging your associations in what you're associated with. And it changes everything because our reputations precede us. And so when you walk into a room, whether you're on your own, a small team, or a business, it can become really easy or it can become really hard to navigate that space depending on what your associations are. And even if you have zero associations, you're probably going to feel it because you'll be next to somebody else who's associated with a lot of maybe winning. It might be um, a lot of success in their background. It might just be they know the right people, and that takes it to another level in terms of their opportunities and what they can get out of that situation, based off of their branding. So without straining this topic too much, there's a lot to say and there's way more nuances, but just understanding that marketing is engaging with your market and branding is the activity of associating yourself or a product or a business with other things, and understanding how much your associations affect your business is super powerful. Understanding how much it affects how you engage with your market is also super powerful. I mean, even this video right now is me associating myself with businesses. It's how we build authority. Branding is the best way to build authority. Um, our authority is our ability to create. And so when we can build our authority, build our credibility through branding, it gives us more freedom to author a situation and create a situation, and people recognize that. So, in summary, branding is association, it's the act of associating, and marketing is engaging with your market. Branding is a subset of marketing, and if you understand how to brand with the goal of making your engagements more fruitful for when you market, then that can be extremely powerful. Don't take my word for it. Go out there, take these definitions, test them, try them. If you have a better definition, let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to increase my knowledge so I can share it with more people. And one more time, this episode was brought to you by Constance, the #1 AI powered mini site in the world. We help you make money while you sleep. It's a site that sells while you sleep, and it's a mini site that makes you money. Check it out. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.